Hey you guys, I'm Flight Attendant Jojo, showing you the sunset, but first, who has a Peloton, please let me know. I would like to be your friend on Peloton. My name's Vinica on Peloton. What a beauty. I want to tell you guys what I chose for my new base. I'm a flight attendant and I have to choose a new base because I might be getting kicked out of my airport base, but I'm actually headed there right now. I filmed all my reasons why earlier today. Now I'm gonna go pick up a friend from LAX. I'll show you what bases I picked and why in just a little bit, but I thought it'd be fun. Let's go airplane watch. Wow. I could just watch this all night. Damn. You guys, the plane! We've made it. We're at In-N-Out and LAX is right over. Leave in the comments what plane you would like to see land, and also leave in the comments, it's 6:20 p.m. on a Monday. What planes do you think will land at LAX and where from? That's the third Delta plane we've seen land. The planes are just gonna pop on out of the sky through the clouds. You guys, you got a milkshake? Is it Neapolitan? Neapolitan. When you've been married for 2 years, they learn your milkshake order. Yes. Strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. Yum. And fries? Mm. Plane.
I think, what was that, China Air?
Yeah.
Something like that.
In the direction that I was filming, it almost looked like it was still taking off, like going back up. Well, I'm gonna go and get my friend food, and Marcus is gonna take over the vlog in plane spotting. Do not click off. Alaska looked tiny next to Taiwan and Air China. They're here. I missed the terminal because I don't even know where Delta is at LAX. Stay tuned for what my new base is, or not, I don't know that yet, but what I picked in order. Okay. Yeah! In my previous vlog, you guys saw that I am going back to work. I'm a flight attendant for a major US carrier. During this time in life, I was furloughed. So I've been furloughed since October, and I didn't know when I would be coming back to work. When they bring furloughed flight attendants back to work, they do it in seniority order. Everything with the airlines is based off of seniority, but with the government's stimulus package, they are bringing back every single one of their furloughed flight attendants. So I'm coming back now officially, but I'm not back flying. You have seen videos that I just posted of me flying. That's probably very confusing. That was back on October 1st. It was my last trip. If you haven't watched that video and you love seeing flight attendants and a day in the life of a flight attendant, go and check that out. I am like on the border. I am 4,000 and they're bringing back 3,000 flight attendants out of the 8,000 that they furloughed. It's just waiting for a phone call. So I am very nervous and I check my email all the time wondering, am I going to be a part of that 3,000? Because I kind of think that I could be back in the air starting March. Here's where this video goes though. They have asked us to kind of be new hires. When you're a new hire, becoming a flight attendant, you get to decide what base you want to go to. I take that back. You don't get to decide. You get to put in preference order what base you want to go to out of the bases that we have. So a base is where we park all of our planes, where you start a trip. That's pretty much where you go to work. And then you end work there too. My current base is LAX. I've been a flight attendant for, I just hit my 4th year. I don't want to leave LA, but they've said that we might have to leave LA because I do not see a lot of flying going in and out of LA. They just don't need as many flight attendants anymore. So that's why they've asked us to pick different bases, and people in LA are worried. Also, people in Miami, I believe, are a bit nervous, and Phoenix wasn't even an option. It is one of our bases, but you didn't get the option to even put it down. That would be heart-wrenching. The point of this vlog is to tell you what order I did put my bases in. So what new home base have I chosen to move to? The bases were due today, so it makes me really nervous. Did I put LA at the top? I did. I screenshotted it. Our base options, I asked you guys to tell me what bases you guys would pick and why, to help me decide which bases I would end up putting down. I feel like I kind of didn't pick the bases that you guys were thinking I would pick, other than LA being the first one. So I do still get to put LA as my first option. Hopefully I get it. Praying that I get it. But if I don't get LA, then I believe there is some sort of compensation that they have to give me to move to another base. We find out on the 8th is the rumor. It is the 4th. 4 more days until I find out if my life gets flipped upside down or not. But first, if you guys are not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button and the bell notification, because I post as often weekly as possible. So I took a screenshot just to be certain of what bases I put. This was a joke, but I put LAX as all of my bases. You're actually not allowed to do that. The computer won't send it through if that's the case. LA was my first one because I'm from LA and I live here now and I don't want to leave, and I really like the flying and I really like the weather. My second preference was Dallas. This was pretty difficult for me to decide on Dallas because I commuted for 3 years. Commuting is horrible, and I commuted to Miami, so I commuted all the way across the country, and to Chicago, which I don't even know why I commuted to Chicago. I hated the cold and the snow. I don't know what I was thinking. I think I thought there weren't as many people commuting from LA to Chicago, but towards the last year, a lot of people commuting, and I was always on the jump seat. I thought about it a lot, like, should I go to Dallas? Should I go to Dallas? But I just hear, I don't know. A lot of my decision making went off of the trips and the cruise. And I mean, my thought is, if a lot of us are being displaced and we have to go to our biggest bases, then Dallas is gonna have a lot of junior flight attendants and we can buddy bid, and there are other friends like Casey and I chatted about buddy bidding. So that kind of sold me a little bit, knowing that I could have a friend in Dallas. My parents are actually buying a place in Austin. Also, it's affordable. Have family a bit close. It's a 2.5 hour commute to LAX. Was Dallas a hard choice? Yes, because I know they have some hard trips, like 4 flights in a day. But I think every base is getting hard trips, so I just picked what would be best financially. And for all of these bases, I am married, and my husband and I decided that we would move to whatever city I get based at, because I don't want to commute. I don't want to miss a day away from him. I want to come home and like sleep in my own bed and not sleep at a crash pad or something. My third choice, this shocked me, but I picked it. Boston. There's probably not great flying out of Boston. And what I mean by great flying is international. Like, I just consider vacation destinations, that's great flying for me. I'll work 3 legs and a red eye if it means I get to do it, but I just like the good layovers. I'm the flight attendant that doesn't like turns, and I just like the good layovers, which I think makes my channel very fun. And I'm excited to show you guys again, like layovers and flying in different locations. But the reason why we chose Boston was not because of trips, because living, again, it's just a beautiful city. I've only had good experiences when going on Boston layovers. It's my vibe. I like the European feel that the Boston city has. One of my best friends is considering moving to Boston. I couldn't pass up the opportunity to go and try out such a beautiful, awesome city while I'm still in my 20s. Fourth, I don't know why I did this. Kind of after 3, I just started pressing buttons. For 4, I put Chicago. My biggest complaint about Chicago is how unsafe the city is. You can disagree with me, but I've lived there for 2 years and I was harassed, bullied, out in public. I got lucky and I never got harmed, but I do know how unsafe the city is. But with that said, the city is so fun. There's a lot of really cool flight attendants. One of my favorite bases was probably Chicago with how fun all the flight attendants were. There's an easy train to get around. You're only responsible for one airport. Other airports have multiple airports that you're responsible for, which is, oh my goodness. LA, the last few months of me working, I was going to all of our different co-terminals and that was exhausting. So I do appreciate the one airport, but they have good flying, decent flying. I don't know, I just put Chicago next because it was what I was comfortable with, I guess. And then 5th was DC. DC has 3 airports. That's probably why it went under Chicago, because I don't want to work out of the 3 airports unless it's LA. DC would also give my husband the opportunity. He has a degree in international relations and foreign policies, and then security, some sort of security, terrorism, something, I don't know. His dream is to live in DC, so that's why DC was there. And there have been times where I have worked with DC crews, the nicest people. Then 6th was San Fran. I know a lot of you guys told me to put San Fran as number 2 because it's still California. Living wise, OMG, it is so expensive. That is not where I'm rushing to. And also the flying is just not great. San Fran people are really nice. The crews are great, but yeah, there's just not flying. Honestly, I don't know why I put San Fran as 6th. I don't think I can go back now though. 7th was New York. And a lot of you probably think like, why would New York be 7th? The flying is great. I don't know why I put New York as 7th, because I do know why. I don't like the city. Every time I lay over, I have a fun 24 hours, but it's not my vibe. I don't want to work out of 3 airports. I don't want to take that train everywhere. I don't want to lug my bag through the snow. And yes, there are cars. It is so expensive. I probably should have put New York over San Fran though, because San Fran's like the most expensive place in America. Yeah, I probably should have done that. Oh well. But yeah, not a fan of New York. Commuting from New York probably wouldn't be the worst because we have amazing planes that go LA to New York, but since I'm not commuting and San Fran would be an easier commute, I don't know. Me prefacing that I'm not going back to work right away is that I probably don't have to move to the city right away. I'll say that all at the end. 8th was Miami. I've already worked out of Miami. The trips, waking up on the beach is amazing every single layover. I loved my Miami layovers, but the flights are rough. I don't love the city. I just didn't love it. So I didn't want to do Miami again, 3 airports. So I've done it and I don't want to do it again. No offense to the East Coast. I just don't like it. Charlotte's not like necessarily East Coast, but I don't want to work out of Charlotte. No desire to move to Charlotte. And then lastly was Philadelphia. I have only, emphasis on only, had bad experience in Philadelphia. No desire to move to Philadelphia. No desire to work out of Philadelphia. Keep me away from Philly, please. Thank you guys so much for staying around this whole video. So to explain why I might not actually have to move to these bases is because on the 8th, I'll find out what my base is. But if they don't give me a call before like March, then Marcus and I still plan on going to Australia and spending time with his family and moving there for as long as we possibly can because my husband's Australian. On the 8th, when I find out what base I do get, it just means that's my base now. It doesn't mean I'm flying yet. So once I start flying and working out of there, then you guys will come with me on that big move. I'm nervous. Trying not to think about it. It's the first week of the year and Marcus and I have already moved, so I just know that this whole year is up in the air. Things are gonna be changing all the time. And my sister is getting married this month, like in 40 days or something. So just trying to stay present, not worry about the future, and enjoying where life will take me. I'm looking forward to the new adventure, and I'm looking forward to taking you guys with me, and I appreciate you guys' support so very much, and your prayers. They mean a lot to me. Please pray that I get to LA. I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to smash that like button. Bye, you guys.